The latest book will be available in 2014, and the title of that project is Communication and Culture in Your Life. Just to give you a little bit of a sense of what the book focuses on, one of the things is cultural competency. So how can we use human communication in order to arrive at cultural competency? So there's a number of topics that the book looks at. One of them is the presence of culture within human relationships. One of those things that we focus on is how culture influences nonverbal communication and body language. So one example of that would be if you have a nurse who is trained in the United States, he or she might value eye contact when communicating with the patient. However, if you have someone who may be trained in Asia or in a different culture, and then they then come to the United States, eye contact might have a different meaning. And so that's just one basic example of something where culture has an impact related to human communication. One of the other contexts that we look at within the book has to do with culture as it relates to business. So it's very important for any professional and any industry. How can we be culturally competent when we go into international business situations? And so there's one entire chapter that looks at certain principles for a professional in an international business situation. One of the other things that's really exciting about the book is looking at the presence and construction of culture in terms of how that happens with new social media. So overall, the book looks at our interpersonal communication contexts, team settings. Obviously, I mentioned nonverbal communication, but where does culture fit into certain what we call applied contexts, such as a hospital setting, within certain business situations, especially in our businesses within the U.S. as we go to more of a global perspective, how these things really matter. And that's something that I really appreciate about the book project, as we have the Diversity Inclusion Office here at Missouri State, and it's also part of our public affairs mission when we look at both ethical leadership as well as cultural competency. So I see a real nice connection with this particular project with those principles.